All right, I've had this man in the neighborhood many a times, man. And this is the first time we've had to do it like this. We don't even do phoners when it comes to 50 Cent. Now we're doing Zencaster and Zoom interviews and looking at each other from thousands of miles away. But welcome back to the neighborhood, Fifth.
Back in the neighborhood.
Hey, man, for 1/5, there is no box we can put you in when it comes to 50 Cent. We can't say, oh, rap artist 50 Cent. We can't say author 50 Cent. You just say 50 Cent and then everything with Curtis Jackson goes under that. First off, I gotta say, congratulations on Hustle Harder.
Thank you, man.
For a man that hustles harder and smarter than so many people, why did you put this into your new book, Hustle Harder? And what is Hustle Harder, Phil?
Well, I did the 50th Law with Robert Greene.
Yeah, man.
That was from me reading his work, big, the 40 Laws of Power, the 33 Strategies of War, and the Art of Seduction. And I wanted to find out who he was. You know what I'm saying? So I worked with him, and we did it. And it was like, when I met him, I found out he was like the research. He's like an extreme history buff. Like he can run parallels between things that you're going through right now and historical figures, points that they went through something similar. And after that experience, I was like, it took a little while for me to have the confidence to write it in my own words, the whole piece. And then I came back with the Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. I think you adjust. When a person says they're hustler big, that means that's what you do. That's who you are. You embrace that and you work. You can build something from the ground up. And having that, you know that there's always going to be setbacks in hustling, but you're going to get back. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It's the way it can go.
But Fifth, when we see like Auto War, the 48, then we see the 50th, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I can tell that you've used a lot of that in your day-to-day, your business, your career. And it's almost like, man, you get yourself ahead of the norm. Why did you give us the knowledge again with Hustle Harder when it could have been like, man, these fools are just sleeping. I'm about to go and do it all. But that's a hustle too to write the book. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it is too big. I think that it's entertaining to, when you see someone operate within the lines of the things that they presented. Like showing them the laws, like showing them the things, people don't apply it.
Right.
Like go to school, they retain the information long enough to pass midterms, but they don't internalize it.
Man, I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
That's really how I'm looking at it, because I go, you can give it to them, they'll hear it and say, yo, he did say, and then later be able to pinpoint how it worked at different points.
But then they hate you for winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, we got the same thing. I'm giving it to you, or I got it. I went out and got it. And then we get mad at you for winning. Like, dude, you had it.
There's a specific anger that's connected to not understanding. You know, people get angry when they don't understand. You say some smart shit, they get real mad.
Yeah. Hey, man, what did you, now, with the book, we get a chance to hustle harder, learn the knowledge, and use it as, I call it a self-help book as well. Right. You know what I'm saying? But in our terms, what did you learn from writing Hustle Harder?
You know what, I had to kind of assess things that, like some behaviors or things that, like why people did things that they did around me. Because there's like when I wrote about the entitlement trap. And there's people that, like, nobody owes me anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I spend more time focusing on what they've done for me. Like when we mentioned Dre or M and those type of situations, you see me go, yo, I couldn't ask for more help.
Right.
More assistance. Right. And at that point, they did what I needed them to do, and I took off big from there. You looked out. I didn't need you to look out for me for my whole life. I needed you to look out.
But you get people that want everything, Fifth, that you have without the work they wanted right now. Right. And then even when you break that down, how you applied that, you could have got mad at, like, said, man, why wasn't I in the Beats deal? Why wasn't I in the such and such? Why? But you took, like, when I remember when you said I made a meal out the deal, and that sounds ridiculous. Now, when you look at a meal out the deal and where you are now, you know what I'm saying?
It's different. And that's the thing. When you look and you go, I saw the Marshall Mathers plaque before my album release, before Get Rich or Die Trying went out, right? It had the flags all over it, right? 22 million copies. And we had the same business manager, second door, right second door. So that's the office it was at. And I was pointing to it. He's like, yo, so, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pointing to the plaque with the flags. I said, but I know I'm gonna have to go door to door. M is something different. Like, Big, this is what they don't acknowledge about Eminem's career, right? The first thing is he was the first like real creditable. Well, the Beastie Boys, and there was other things that happened. Yeah, but as a solo artist in that period that he was in, he was creditable artist coming out of Detroit, stuff like that. Was from the groundwork. Right now, look, when I would run into a huge portion of the white audience, the white fans, if you ask them if they like hip hop or they enjoyed it, they go, yeah, and they go, who? And they go, Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
It's because this is where they saw themselves in it. Like the way they market the films to the general public, they say whoever face you see on the billboard, that's what they expect to watch the movie.
Right.
So when I did Get Rich or Die Trying, I'm like, they jerked me. We were scheduled to release the 3,200 theaters. We released the 1,700 theaters because they said it's premium urban. Because it was just my face.
Right.
When Denzel Washington did American Gangster, they billed him and Russell Crowe equally. And it's about Frank Lucas's life. The film is Frank Lucas's life. Denzel Washington is the star of the movie. Russell Crowe's in it for a few minutes. But they built them equally so it could be marketed to that broader audience because of who Denzel Washington is. And I'm like, why nobody ain't tell me that before I went out there? I said earlier, I'm like, I got to bump my head to learn something.
But you know what it is too, Flip? It's a whole different kind of tuition into the school of experience too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you paid a different tuition into the school of experience, but you also, at any time when somebody can get bitter or mad, you also learned off of it. Like,
Because I always viewed it like they don't owe me that. They don't owe me, Big.
Right.
I'm like, it would be nice if you could pull me to the side and let me, and tell me if this is something that I would have to know and demand it and say, no, it has to be like this. I need a police officer. I don't care if he wasn't in my life. If it wasn't the same arresting officer, give me this. It would have took the movie to 3,200.
Right. And so you learn those things early on, and you continue, Fifth, to apply those things to either your personal or your business career, whatever it may be now.
Yeah. Now, even in Power, I made them change the key art from just Omari Hardwick by himself to Omari Hardwick and Joe Shakur.
50, we got to talk about not just the brand of 50 Cent and thinking out. I don't even call it thinking outside the box. I call it thinking outside the blocks, where now the success of Power and the success of Power, not only did you introduce us to a great series and a great cast, and I know that Power continues the TV show, but also, man, you brought people to Stars Network.
Yeah.
People got Stars because they had to get Stars to watch Power, the TV show.
Yeah.
What made you create a TV show like Power? And did you have the confidence enough to say, this is what I'm thinking and this is what I want to do?
Well, I was looking at it big. Like, I always try to figure out, like I said, where's my core audience, right? And in 2003, let's say the person was in college in their heyday. The first adult experience, their partying means so much more to them at that point, right? So the music, they couldn't escape me at that point. From 2003 all the way through their college piece. So those people are now at a different point in their life. If they weren't the kind of people that commit without their responsibilities showed up, like they done had so much fun that they had kids, or they got their career that worked into a space where they're in a good position in their career. So these people don't party every day. They go to work Monday through Friday, Saturday, relax, Sunday, they go to church. Every now and then they might step out, but it's not as frequent anymore.
Right, they have moved on too, where we're not the focus so much. Right. We got to try to grab their attention a little bit.
And they'll
different ways.
They'll accept the content, but it has to be packaged different. It has to be delivered. And Sunday evening is not a bad time before they go back to work. You know, to relax and talk, watch television at the house. So that when I got with Stars, I was making $17,000 an episode. I get
You
paid
just
more
wanted to get in.
Yeah, I was making. I could just get them pregnant with the idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at first I'm going like I would have made more just going to nightclub and walk through.
Yeah, walking through. Yeah.
And I was executive producing and actually playing the Kanye character on the series, and doing 17,000, getting 17,000 per episode. And I'm like, afterwards, the show's so successful that it turns into the through the overall deal, $150 million over. You know what I'm saying? And then they locked me in, and everything is good. So I'm looking, going, it made sense to make those sacrifices early on to make the project what I wanted it to be, because look, there's a place for bad music. It's television. It's the last place they spend money in the budget all the time. Right. And the director will put the piece in with his dream sequence and music, and then the music director will put something in that's comparable. It's different. It has no samples, and the artist feels similar. You know what I mean? But this is a guy from up the block that probably wouldn't sell one push on iTunes.
Right.
And he ends up on the television, you know, and it's because balancing out where the money is being spent. And
how do you take? Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, it just evolved as the show got so successful. I convinced the Stars Network that we could do what Marvel does and break off the characters into a whole universe. And then so Power Book 2 is Ghost. It's Mary J. Blige, Method Man. I got a squad in that one.
When does that happen? You know, because
that one is coming. Like we were at on the last day of episode 8.
When all this happened.
Yeah. So we still got an 8-season episode. We got an 8-episode season still. We're gonna go 10, but we got 8.
And what's Power Book 3? Power
Book 3 is Raising Canaan.
Yeah.
That one it takes us back to the early, like late 80s, early 90s. So it's a period piece. It's the
you know what, Fifth? Let me just ask you this, because I can go big. What do you have just with Stars? You know what I'm saying? Just give me I got this, and name them. Yeah, I got six shows on the Stars Network. The Ghost, the Raising Canaan, Force, that's the Tommy spinoff. And Moment in Time is there?
Yeah, Moment in Time.
Is BMF the Black Fan? Is that over there as well?
BMF is greenlit. That got greenlit during the pandemic. So when we go back, we're gonna go straight into the casting process and get that one up and going. But they're gonna make it's gonna be so many new adjustments because of the Corona. You know what I mean? Like now we gotta come back with the whole being on set is gonna be completely different. They're gonna have all of these new rules and stuff set up for people to stay away from each other a little bit. And just the process thing is ill, because the first, as I did the overall deal, the first show that I pitched to them was the Isaac Wright Show for Life on ABC.
Yeah. So with For Life going to ABC, did they not see the value in that?
They didn't get that one because it was the first one. So it was like, boom, as soon as the overall deal is set, boom, I come in and I go, and they go,
oh, man.
Yeah, they didn't see it. And it would have been a different show if I had to produce it for premium cable versus network television. And just the timing of it is perfect for network, you know.
Hey, what about with that? Do you feel like the safer at home quarantine, do you feel like it's hurting For Life, or do you feel like it's hurting?
No, I think it's
helping. Yeah, because we're watching.
Yeah, because people, now you're home, I'm going to check that out. If you, especially in between time, in the social media and stuff like that, the phone's crazy. You got to put it down. You got to put the phone down. Because at points, you just sit there, you'll be like,
yeah, man,
all day. Like, you know, so I'm like, between that, if you get the signal that it's coming on, you say, nah, I'm going to check it out. And then you watch it, the excitement, people, even the timing of music in it. Because that was really important to me. I use Superfly as an example when I was selling the show to Chris Albert, because the music bed for Superfly may be the best soundtrack I've heard, period.
Oh yeah.
Because it just it was points where the character would just stare off and the music was saying what he was thinking.
Hey man, do you feel like growing up, you saw that, but now you're introducing a whole new audience to what the even Superfly, like what that felt like. You know what I'm saying?
When BT did New Edition,
yeah,
they was doing 5 heartbeats.
Right, bro.
We already saw that. Like we saw that. It's just to the kids now that's listening to this to trap music. That hit music from New Edition feels like Motown music to us.
Yeah, man. We seen that with the Temptations.
Yeah, like that
episode 5 Heartbeats. Yeah, and there were so many kids that watched that New Edition show, and it was like they became either a fan at that time, or they grabbed like Candy Girl had a new meaning to kids.
They'll make a new version of it. You know how it goes. The sample is going to give somebody a creative idea, and they're going to come back with something that's the now. But when they're hearing it, they're going, yo, it's like us watching 5 Heartbeats.
What do you do aside from business? How are you holding up with Safer at Home?
I'm doing good, man. I got a little gym equipment. I didn't want the gym to be in the house. I wanted the gym equipment to be at the gym, and I'll go there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And keep the stuff, like, even the studio stuff, I didn't want to bring it into the house because the stuff will consume me big. Like, I'll start to just do that instead of just being.
So you're not worried about that quarantine 15th? You know, there's some people, they just eating crazy, we gaining weight. Like, you're not tripping off
I can't do that. I can't go out, you know. I'm older, big. I can't be slipping.
Okay, well, speaking of being older, you see now, I saw Renee that worked with you when he sat down to kind of test our, but I've never seen Renee with the top down. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen the convertible Renee since I've known Renee. But this quarantine thing, we getting comfortable is cool. I love seeing him with his beard and, you know, his George Jefferson look. Now, but you also came at like how Khaled looked, Deion Sanders, Diddy. You were saying, man, like, where the F is this time machine? What's going on? But I'm sitting here and your hair is black, facial hair is black. What are you doing that's different from what we're doing?
I got a couple strands that be coming in here now that look crazy, big, but I be getting them.
Right.
I don't care if I gotta get it sharpened. I'm gonna get these.
Hey, man, so what do you think when you do see people come on and there is a different look than what we were used to?
No, I think that they're not. Oh, look, I think that they're just not. They weren't being conscious of it. I don't think they consciously just let it go like that. You think on purpose they just did that?
I think so. I think when
the CVS never closed.
Right. Okay.
The necessity stuff. Those necessities, if they wanted to sustain that, they was just like damn. And then for the kids, they'll look and go, damn, you got old.
Right.
Real quick. Like, you're like, yo.
The time machine you were talking about.
Yeah. Feel like, and Deion, you gotta be careful. Deion Sanders is in shape still.
Yeah. So do you get dressed every day, Fifth, being that we're on this whole quarantine thing?
Nah, sweatsuit action.
Yeah, man.
I haven't had jewelry back on until, you know, I don't even know what I put this on for, big.
Press tour. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you miss, Fifth, about being out since we've been on this safer at home quarantine?
Man, look, I didn't look at being home as a punishment because I travel so much anyway that when I'm tired, big, it's usually exhaustion from travel. And I go, what I miss the most probably is just the people, just being like, we go to a restaurant, basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need much. Like, even when you said, what would you do tonight? It's Tuesday, we're in the city, what's going on? And I'm going, oh, it probably would have just been over at Privilege or somewhere.
What about when we come out, man, and we've been doing this social distancing? Every time you come to the station, Fifth, you've taken every picture, you've shaken every hand. What do you think happens now for 50 Cent as a public figure?
I think that you get a chance to say they have to accept no a little more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people get upset, especially when there's celebrities involved. If you tell them no, babe, like, it's like, what?
Right.
I bought a CD when I was in.
Yeah, you owe them.
You diss me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you diss me. You blame me after all that. I thought you was cool, boy.
But do you think now we'll understand when you say, man, 6 feet away, especially first? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A year, 2, 3 down the line, maybe we may relax. But do you think, like, man, we gotta understand when you say either no or from there or that you're not quick to shake a hand.
Yeah, and that I think everybody got to accept it or be more open to it, or understand that there may be a different motivation to you saying no, you ain't going to do that. Like, it didn't mean you didn't want to talk to me.
Right.
You might just be like, nah, you just.
I've asked this question, Fifth, to like Thugger, the Baby, many people, and I know that you don't go out and it's show money. It's show money, or I'm not going to the studio. But if this lasts to July 1st, and it's been going on for as long as it's been going on, how much money has 50 Cent lost or he could have made during this quarantine, and if it go to July 1st?
All kind of money, because I had 3 shows in production. It all stops. Damn. Everybody goes home, so you got all of that. Like the wheelhouse, not in one piece. You don't feel like the money just stopped out of your pocket. Like a lot of the artists have to rely on a touring,
right?
Like to for their real income, because the music sales, even when it does good, it's still. But there was a point where it felt like a feature film was coming out when the artist came out.
Right.
The marketing,
the anticipation, the way, yeah.
And that's gone. So now it's like this person just dropped, and you go, for real, you gotta find it. You gotta go, to go look at their joint and check it out. Like, I have to find it to keep up with what's going on in music. I gotta go look, like, what happened?
Right. And it's so fast now too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They got a low attention span, and you looking and you going, what is because there's no feeling or build up to the events. It's just the actual music, and music they can be listening to something. We're going, what are they listening to? And it's a whole new kid. Like, new artists. I'm listening to Jack Boy. This kid just came out. New thing pop out, and you go, oh, let me hear this and see what is cool about this. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Why I'm hearing about it. And then,
hey, Fifth, can I ask you a question? How much weight do you think you would have lost if this went to July 1st? I don't know what the fuck you talking about now, bro. When I asked you one question, and this motherfucker done brought up streaming and the way you listen. Like, this dude is doing a damn seminar. How much do I owe you for this seminar? I asked you one question. Like,
yeah, big. How long we known each other, man?
We've known each other for.
You see that?
Right. you don't want to discuss your finances. Fifth, I gotta ask you this. Tekashi 6ix9ine is home. At some capacity. You know what I'm saying? If he said, hey man, can you come by the halfway house and do a record with me right now? Do you F with Tekashi 6ix9ine if he wanted to record with you?
I wouldn't work with him, man. Right. It's still just what it is just against the way I grew up. I didn't know, like, I don't think remember I told you I understood why he did what he did. They was doing stuff to him. When you say he's not a gang member or he's not this kind of guy, but you slept with his baby's mother and you was gonna do something to his mother. Tell any traditional kid, tell the actual consumers of music.
Right.
In middle America, that's gonna buy the actual CD, that hits the button, they tell them that somebody slept with my girlfriend and had intentions of hurting my mom, and they go, and you want me to do 40 years for them?
Right.
They'll still be hitting the button.
Yeah.
They'll still be hitting the button.
That just don't care. Like, this could affect you totally different than it could affect, a Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you did, no, that would be, this over. I'll wrap it up. Pack everything up, go. You did some shit like that. Like, it would be over, big. Like, for Snoop, it would be over. It's what,
right.
It's where you came from. So they'll say things, and look, without speaking like in a negative way about them, because I think that the new artists are gonna adjust to them. They're gonna work with them. Watch, because he'll have some success, and then they'll start to see people not care so much. It'd be more important to them to have a hit than to stand with that. They go, no, it's just creative. It's just a song. They're gonna do that in front of you, and you gonna watch. It's gonna take place. It's like,
oh yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. You can see it already, man. It's definitely a different set of rules that others are playing by. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, if you're gonna live a certain way, then you know, do you, and I'll continue to do me. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Who you have sex with don't make me come. So you go ahead and you do what you're doing. Fifth, how do you have brands in alcohol, liquor, things like that, and we don't see you as the drinker? You know what I'm saying? But you know, people say don't get high off your own supply anyway. That's rule number one. Talk to me about the cognac and those kind of brands as well.
But Branson and really, I made the connect through the Titans family with Castanal. They've been producing champagne for over 100 years. And they hadn't figured out how to bring a higher grade of champagne into America, premium. But the only thing that was here was Cristal.
Right.
And Jay's response with Ace, you know what I'm saying? So when I brought the Shipment de Noir to the market, it was cool. And then from there, I made the play towards cognac because it's such a good category, growing category, that even your big houses like your Hennessy and Remy, and they run out.
Right.
They run out of the inventory.
But Fifth, how dare you even think that you can get into this? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think, okay, man.
Well, look, Big, I sold crack too. I think I sold crack.
Right. But yeah, but that's why I say you don't get high off your own supply. But at some point, you didn't get early on. How dare you get into making this kind of money or get into all these business ventures?
When you see someone casually have a drink here and there versus I'm not every time you see me drinking.
Right.
It also has something to do with me sustaining my physical state. You know what I'm saying? Because I already ate and did everything else I was doing. If I'm drinking, I'm eating again.
Right.
And when I start coming around here looking big and my face is all puffy and everything, y'all gonna go, whoa, what is going on, Phil? It looks like.
What's the difference between your brand and just what you have compared to everything else? Like why is yours so special?
It's a higher premium. It's a higher quality. Like I went and got Grand Champagne. I wouldn't introduce it if it wasn't a higher level of quality. Like I know that when you go to the food and beverage, the actual food shows that they have around the country, it's gonna end up winning awards all over there, and they're gonna go. This is definitely that top notch, great in quality, but this is what the experts would say. Okay? So when you see the truck riding by, instead of seeing my face, you just see the award. You just see the award from the actual context.
Hey man, and that's when I say, when we talk about Hustle Harder, the book that's available for everybody right now, man, that's another thing. Sometimes, Fifth, we don't think that we can. We kill things on the vine. You know what I'm saying? We wait for either the next person to do it, the next man, or we already putting up barricades. Like Tyrese wrote a book called How to Get Out of Your Own Way. And I read that, and that's so true, bro. We block ourselves. Like at some point, Fifth, there was somebody, even to today, that didn't believe that you could be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's just Curtis from such and such. Oh, that's just such and such. Oh, he not gonna make it till he's 20. He not gonna make it till he's 25. Oh, he got a rap deal now. Oh, he gonna F that up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it's usually it's not even their perception of you. It's they're projecting their own, the way they feel about themselves on the
exactly. Other like, how is he gonna write a book? How he writing a book? You know what I'm saying? And then we use your laws. Right. Like it's crazy the knowledge that, and sometimes, Fifth, we don't want to even hear it from us. You know what I'm saying? We don't. It could be It could be the most truth and the most gospel, but told to us in a prose, prose way. Like, oh, I understand this, but we don't even want to look at it. You know what I'm saying?
It's all how it's packaged and presented. Like if you look at your ministry, right? All the information is coming from the same book, babe.
Right.
But this guy has a huge congregation, and this guy got a small church. This guy because they prefer this person to tell them the information.
Right. Message messenger.
So if I bring things from my experience and different things, and if people can understand it better coming from me, let's say it's being said in plain English instead of using words that you wouldn't use in your everyday.
Right.
And they get it, then they'll really appreciate the book. Like they'll enjoy it.
And that's why I do encourage people to grab Hustle Harder. We've been talking about, man, coming out better than we went in. There's so many people that got dreams and aspirations. And I always tell people, man, like for one, you can't come in and get what I got because you're not gonna put the work in that I put in. It probably may look easy, but you're not gonna get it. And I don't flaunt it, but I don't apologize for my success because I put the work in. No, you know what I'm saying?
But you should ever apologize for what you work for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when some people are gifted. They're just so talented that you look and they didn't have to. Like you'll go, there's writers that this guy raps the way we talk. So it means nothing to him to write the verse, to say the verse, to do that.
Right.
And he don't necessarily make as many hits as the guys that had the work to do it.
And that's crazy because, Fifth, there's better rappers. No disrespect, there's better rappers than you. But there's not bigger rappers.
Yeah, let me tell you,
you know what I'm saying?
I listen to some of them. I'm like, yo, that was play that again. I listen to the battling and stuff like that. But sometimes they say they play punchlines to each other, and I'm going, yo, that was wow. And just watching, but they can't write a song to save their life.
Hey, Fifth, do you ever trip off? There's 3 birthday songs. There's Happy Birthday to you. And there's Happy Birthday to you. Happy. And then there's Go Shorty. It's your birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally just did a drive-by parade party for Kourtney Kardashian. And that was the theme song for man, like you created a new birthday song that we don't know when Happy Birthday to me. We don't know when that came out. We know about when Happy Birthday, when that came out and the content for it.
Yeah.
So 100 years from now, Fifth, we're gonna be dead and gone. And people will be going, go, shawty. It's your birthday.
That's big. They be little big when they know.
Yeah, man.
Yo. And you know what that is? That's not overthinking. The difference in writing for music versus writing for the film and television project, it is never right the first time you write it for film and television, babe. Go Shorty, it's your birthday. It's not rocket science. It's what I felt when the music came on. And I just said it, and it just being conditioned to write music, you'll write it. That was like, Dre tell you it was 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes.
At one point, did somebody tell you, man, why are you saying that? It's almost sounded like a birthday. So like, did anybody tell you like not to do that?
No. Dre was like, wait, put that one on. Because we did 2 songs every day for 4 days. We took 4 of those songs and put on Get Rich or Die Trying. And those 4 songs was P.I.M.P., In the Club, Back Down, and If I Can't.
Oh, man. Yeah, and I told you, man, If I Can't is my favorite.
Yeah, no, look, we sat in Jimmy's office, and it was like, so what do you think? What do you want to go with first? He said, because he really liked If I Can't because it had that inspiration feel to it. And I was like, using my knee to tap him next to me. So I was like, yo, it's the other. Oh, birthday.
So you tapped him. You tapped him from under the table for him to say.
My need for him to say the birthday song. The birthday one.
Did y'all call it the birthday song?
Early on.
See, that would make it even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
every day
we got in the club, but it almost sounds worse when you say to Paul Rosenberg, what about the birthday song? Be like, the birthday song. You know what I'm saying? But it worked out, Fifth, where it's genius. Like when we look in the rearview mirror, it's genius. Looking through the windshield, it probably looked goofy. You know what I'm saying? Or probably had to sell it or.
I live in the now, right? So when they go, like music, like I watch them, I have a lot of the young kids that came out, they'll mention me. They'll come out and something new and they'll say something and they go, well, who was like some of your influences and stuff like that? And I'll say, and I watch and I go, okay, cool. He really is just talking about what was playing and what he heard and what made him want to be involved, like music. When you get to, like it gets to a point when you don't see it, like when you don't hear about those points, you go, nah, because our culture is out with the old and with the new. Not what have you done for me? What have you done for me now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of try to stay like right where we at. So I'm going. They'll go. What do you? I just can't wait to see what happens to these guys from now. Because now, when things are moving around like the way it's so when you don't feel the events that you felt like at that point before the release, they're gonna fall off the planet. You have a whole boatload of hits for a long time, and they're gonna be like, nah, that was.
Are you concerned, Fifth, with how we come out of this with like your brand? Because it don't seem like it's really affecting you. I mean, when you get your shows shut down and different ways you got to come back and go to work, but you're not nervous about like, man, how am I going to eat? How am I going to get money? You know, I spent a lot, like.
Because I already. I got rid of the big expenses. Just within lifestyle, I was adjusting it because I wanted to do. Man, I tell you, I just fly on private planes everywhere I go now instead of spending. I was spending like $70,000 a month on
what?
Just the upkeep of the property in Connecticut.
Damn, and you weren't even living at that crib, huh?
No, wasn't even there. I had a new place. And was running around doing everything else. I wasn't even in my new place because the traveling. Look, if you're successful, you're gonna have enough stuff to do that you're moving around. I was spending a lot of time on the West Coast.
I remember you told me when I was at the house in Connecticut how much was the upkeep, and I remember looking at that place. You had like 15 kitchens or whatever in there, and a club and the grounds, and I was like, dude, I'm literally looking at this house. And like I told you, I said, man, we went there on a Saturday. On Tuesday, you didn't even know I was still in the house. I was on a totally different other side of the house, just living there. It was another kitchen. It was a gym that I didn't frequent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want to blow people's dreams. If they need to have confirmation of success from having one of those joints, the properties, go do it. You got to have it. If you feel like you got to have it, go get it. But when I look, I see beautiful headaches. I see a beautiful headache when I see these real luxury cases like that. I say, could you look at that fine headache?
Hey, man, a beautiful headache is for real. That's with cars. That's with females. Like, man, that's a beautiful headache. That's a beautiful, wow.
Because you go, after a while, you're not going to use the space. I need 4 rooms, 5 rooms, and the property, and I'm straight. Like, because then I can.
You got to have a good master. Are you a good master person?
If I got a good master
bedroom, office space.
That's a whole nother room.
See, I'm a kitchen guy. I gotta have, because I like to cook. You know what I'm saying? That comes from being 500 pounds, loving to eat. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what's the other rooms you got?
Just
5.
Yeah, like the maximum space, and I don't need for like 5 bedrooms, but 5 rooms. Like the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, and 2 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms.
I could bust him out the water, tell him swing that camera around and see what size rooms he's talking about.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 5 rooms, but it is 30,000 square feet big. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but the one thing, after I do that, I set it up with, the Jetsons. You can do all of the shower on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, the lights, you do every little gadget you can think of.
50, I got to get with you on this. We've been watching all the verses. We've been watching Teddy Riley, Babyface, Lil Jon, T-Pain, Timbaland, Swiss Beats, who put it together. Then we started to hear Ja Rule, 50 Cent, because people just throwing things in the air now. Yeah. I gotta ask you, what do you, 50 Cent, feel about versus Ja Rule, 50 Cent?
I don't even think that's. Look, it would make more sense catalog-wise for me and Snoop. And it's just because we would definitely be able to compete everywhere, every step of the way. Ja Rule, he got like 5, 6 duets, man. He got the hit records is all him and Jennifer Lopez, him and Mary J. Blige, him and Ashanti, him and a woman, a female artist. All the records. But he got one song by itself, Holla Holla.
Those are hits, though. You know what I'm saying? And aside from
the hits they're all do-over records at the same time. It's already someone else's record. Stevie Wonder, do I do what you do?
And see, the reason why I did ask the question is because it was more not just on the hits, because I feel like Ja Rule, how you broke it down, I can understand. But I feel like Ja Rule, he got the hits. When I see people press play, I see them saying, oh, I produced this, but this was such and such. When I saw Scott Storch, people was arguing about, wait, I thought Still DRE was Dr. Dre, so on and so forth. But I was just thinking, for two people that hadn't met in damn near 2 decades, how do we go on to verses and try to get through songs? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you and Ja Rule ever had a conversation? Nah. And okay, so yeah, we definitely won't see that on verses.
I don't think that was like, what's the name? That was for attention.
Right.
You know, to talk about it, like you look. We do have like Fat Joe. Like I have a relationship with Fat Joe, so we cool. And because I think it was our issues is he's kind of loyal to the default. You know what I'm saying? I never had a problem with him. It was his relationship with Ja Rule that created the problem.
Right.
So when it happens and it's on his live, I understand why it's happening, because that's been that way.
Right. Okay. And now we fast forward and we see Dr. Dre name coming up with Diddy's name to do verses.
Yeah, listen. Really, everybody that went they can't mess with Dre. Producer-wise, don't even think that they could do that. Like everybody that went already, Teddy Riley, you can put all of them, Babyface, all of them. They'll all stop and go, yeah, I forgot about that one.
Why do you think that would happen or that wouldn't happen?
No, I don't think they would. I think no. Like back then, look at this. The music business was different. They would trend. I would watch. They'll go like this. Who did that record? Go get me.
Right.
Give me that producer. Put them in the room with these guys. Something good's gonna come out. You see what I'm saying? Just creatively, when you put that talent around seasoned talent that's there, it's gonna bring another hit record out of there. Like if you go, you find Scott Storch, you bring him, you put him play keys, you put him next to Dr. Dre. Hits.
Yeah, definitely so proven.
You see what I'm saying? And then you get this, bring him in, more hit records, but Dre at the center of it. You see what I'm saying?
And I just thought that, man, I was like, for one, the reason why I wouldn't want to see it, bro, is because I don't, and I know Babyface, legends, everybody that's been doing it, Swiss Beats and Timbaland alone. I'm just saying that when I look at verses, I love it, I watch it, I'm all in. I don't want to see Dre going back and forth with anyone, and then whatever pops on the screen. And then you got to think, man, when I saw Teddy Riley, who is a legend in the music, when I saw Teddy Riley and Breon as well, when I saw them get reduced to memes.
Yo, you saw Breon in the back?
Yeah, man, and you know Breon, you know what he does for music, and see how you laughing. That's the thing that I'm talking about, man. You can't control the narrative. You can't control, and I know that Dr. Dre is very hands-on and very controlling. You know, what does the camera look like? What does this look like? And then while we're on this quarantine for verses, now that video lives forever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just don't want to. I don't want to see those two gentlemen go up. They got hits. I just don't want to see that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
But I don't think there's nobody who can really. They still can't match up with Dre. Like, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take somebody that really talented.
Like, I felt like Babyface and Teddy Riley, they could have went on for days.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
They could have, because
Timberland and Swizz Beatz. When I saw T-Pain and Lil Jon, I thought that was dope. I thought that, you know what I'm saying? So there's been some great ones.
It's a different thing when you put, like, with the artists, like artists versus the producers. Because with Dre produced records with you won't believe some of the records he produced. Like, on the low, that super checks for them things on the low. It just was like one of those things where you go, you know what? It's Gimme. Gimme is a big part of it, because Gimme was like, that's my guy. Like, my go-to guy, what I got Dre over here. Bro. And this is gonna keep the business going. And I would say, I'm not stupid. I go to Dre to get the beast.
Hell yeah. Like, I remember he was like, I'm not using it. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? 50. You gave us so much time today, man. I appreciate it, bro. And for those out there, man, Curtis Jackson, Hustle Harder, 50 Cent. The book is available for you guys right now. And I suggest that you guys pick it up, man. Read the knowledge. Apply it to your life. Come out of this much better than we went in. And let me ask you this, Phil, with so many things that's going on in your life, bro, if I went to, social distancing wise, if I went with you to the ATM right now and you pulled out $20 and that receipt comes out, what would that receipt say as a balance?
Oh, what's your count? Put them
all together. He said, oh.
What's your count? Oh, no. I'm probably not, if it was my personal card, not much.
Right. Hey, man, I asked Will Smith that question, right? I said, Will, if I went to the ATM with you and you pulled out $20, what would that receipt say? He said, Big, it'll have so many zeros on there, it'll look like it went, ooh.
Yeah, because
man, Fifth, I thank you for your time, brother.
You got to pay your company. And then you can pay it a little bit.
Hey, man, I understand, bro. I understand you're bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? Boy, if I can have your bankruptcy, oh, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? But Phil, thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man. We appreciate you, brother. God willing, we'll be able to get around each other and we'll do it like how we've been doing it for years, man. And thank you once again for the knowledge and hustle harder, bro. And I'm telling you, man, the best way to get past things is to make sure that you are armed and you have the ammunition for the things that you want to do. And thank you for applying us this ammunition. And like they say, man, if you want people to stay, ignorant to a situation, put it in the book. So
that's right.
For those right there,
top secret to the hood. That's top secret.
man, I thank you, Phil. 50 Cent in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood.